Hi. Today we are going to talk about a tool that can foster our creativity as screenwriters. Without going any further, I use it whenever I start a project to generate ideas and see all the nuances and edges that I can think of on the initial concept. I am referring to the famous mind maps. I'm sure you've seen some. They are those drawings that look like a cell that has a central nucleus and then branches out. Well, today we will see what they are for and how to work with them when developing our stories. And an ideal tool to develop the mind maps of your story and write your script is to use the script planner. What are mind maps? A mind map is a graph that allows you to easily organize your thoughts. The classic mind map is spider-shaped. There is a concept in the center and it grows radially, simulating the neural connections. From the central nucleus, branches emerge. Each one of them is an idea around the concept. And from each branch, children emerge, which are additional details about the branch we are on. We can also season our mind map with many elements that illustrate the final result, like images or drawings, that help us to understand the concepts and know where to look at first glance, or link some branches with others to show the relationships, or also use colors to mark and differentiate some concepts. In short, it is a technique to represent and organize information in an easy, spontaneous and creative way. The concept of mind maps was formalized by the English psychologist Tony Buzan, based on ideas of Leonardo da Vinci. In his own words, mind mapping is the expression of radiant thought and, therefore, a natural function of the mind. It is a graphic technique that offers us a master key to access the potential of our brain. It can be applied to all aspects of life, so that improved learning and greater clarity of thought can reinforce man's work. What are mind maps for? They enhance creativity. We are used to organizing information in a linear way, that is, one thing after another. When we make lists or diagrams, we limit ourselves to a vertical way of thinking that prevents us from creating connections between the different levels of information. Mind maps allow us to organize information in a radial way, from a central idea, and to increase creativity, we use different resources to classify and organize information. Colors, drawings, symbols, codes, etc. They encourage the flow of ideas and mental agility. The ideas generate ideas, they are connected between them, they are related, and they expand. But, in order to do so, the necessary brain connections have to be generated to provoke the relationship between one idea and another. Writing concepts on paper and joining them with lines makes the brain visualize them and go faster. They focus on the central idea and then break it down and classify it in a logical way. That is why they are useful when we are clear about the central idea we want to work on, whether it is the topic of our story, a character or an event. Having developed the concepts and broken them down little by little also helps you to memorize. So it is a useful tool to prepare a pitch or a presentation of your project. They give you a global vision of the whole story from a different perspective. Then you will order your ideas and move on to the playlist, scenes in the classic script form. But that first phase should be as creative as possible, and having every story on a canvas with interconnected concepts gives you a unique insight. They help you plan. A mind map can be the place where you plan all the work to be done. In the case of making a script, we can plan the documentation phase, the development of characters, the structure, the creation of the plots, the rundown, the scenes, the dialogues, etc. You can outline all the needs that your project will have and capture them in a mind map. Steps to make a mind map. 1. Take a paper and colored pencils. We put the sheet horizontally, write the central idea in the middle of the paper, and let the brain flow. We make a circle over the central idea to focus and start thinking about it. 2. From the center we take out the main ideas and the secondary ideas to the outside. The main ideas will come out of the thick branches. The secondary ideas will come out of the fine branches. So even what we could call leaves of that tree, where the concept ends. 3. We can use colored pencils to highlight each idea or the different levels of depth. At a thematic level, we can mark with colors the different plots or the different characters to visually organize the content of the mind map. 4. We draw lines that connect some concepts with others. Each line has a reason to be. By connecting some ideas with others, we can see the relationships between characters or conflicts. We can also make notes on the lines that explain what their function is. And finally, we can add images or icons that illustrate the map. Photographs of actors or places that inspire us. Icons or codes that clarify the relationships between characters. Numbers that order or sequences screenwriters' mind maps. We screenwriters can use the mind mapping technique at different times in our creative phase. Let's see 3 types of mind maps, but now that you know the technique you can surely invent some more according to your needs. Theme map. When we want to develop a theme in our script, we can create a mind map that helps us explore all its possibilities. The theme will be the central concept, and branches with sub-themes will come out and see all the nuances that each sub-theme can bring to us. Character map. Mind maps are also a tool to help develop characters. In the center we will put the name of the character and a picture of the actor that we would like to play it to get an idea. Then different branches will come out showing us each of the aspects of the character we can develop. biography, physical aspect, personality, dreams, relationships, and each aspect we can subdivide further. For example, the aspect of relationships will be divided into each of the other characters, and we will see how their relationship with them is. Sequence map. If we want to develop the story, we can place the title of our work in the center, and take out 3 branches that will be equivalent to the 3 acts, in the case of a film, or those corresponding to each act depending on the duration of your work. Then we will develop the points of conflict and pulses of each act with different branches. From each conflict we can write down the scenes that come to mind that will be like fruits hanging from each branch. Then we will look at each scene again and try to relate the scenes from one act to another. In this way we can establish relationships of causality. What happens in some scenes generates something in the following ones. Once we have developed all the scenes that we can think of, we can order them into a provisional playlist. That is the moment to think if they will have a chronological order or if we can play with other types of structures. Viewing all the scenes on a map of plots helps us to find relations between some scenes and others. Group brainstorming. Mind maps are also very useful to collect and structure the information in the brainstormings of the writer's room. In the meetings that the writers of a series hold to generate plots, stories, or characters, the mental maps written live on a blackboard help to organize the ideas and to gather the contributions of all in a graphic way. Format and tools. Analogical mind maps. Individual work. Pencil, paper, colors, and drawings. Work group. Blackboard and markers. Digital mind maps. There are many mind mapping softwares, both desktop and tablet and mobile versions. In these programs you can create mind maps online and save them in the cloud. Almost all software has free versions and others pay per subscription. The basic versions can be used to make maps, but to include icons, export the maps to PDF, use templates, and many more utilities require switching to the paid option. Well, this concludes today's video, where we have seen what mind maps are, and how to use them to make our scripts.